The Miyawaki Forest of Rainbows. Queer Life in GCW. Throughout time, female-only institutions have been ecosystems of individuality, security, and freedom, often away from the social classes that separate femininity from the concept of dependency. These institutions are often misunderstood as the spaces that guide only femininity, seen simply as safe spaces for girls. Such misconceptions never take strong root in any women-only colleges. In fact, womanhood itself is a blurred line in certain cases. Thinking further, queerness doesn't just exist here. It thrives, struggles, adapts, and redefines itself. Here, being a woman is not just about fitting into the binary, nor about holding its titles like a woman, mother, girlfriend, or sister. It is about being oneself above all. It is about individuality, about those who leave their own signature in this world. Government college for women is for women, and for the people it cares for. GCW is a path of both liberation and tension. It is a paradox of newly found emotions for many, where more emotional discoveries are made than one may experience in a co-ed institution. GCW serves as an unexpected sanctuary for queer students, particularly queer women, and AFIB non-binary individuals. Free from the male gaze, many find it liberating to study here. It becomes a space to explore their gender expressions and sexuality in ways they hadn't been able to before. Friendships often blur lines, and the intense emotional bonds are different from what labels describe platonic, romantic, or something that can't be described at all. This proves that such connections often lie somewhere on a spectrum. From my experience, I often think that even the straight people I know aren't uncomfortable with skinship and touches that can't always be called platonic, a sophomore says. In an institution where female friendships are almost worshipped, one cannot ignore that despite the supposed openness, queerness in GCW is sometimes hidden behind an invisible wall, like an open secret. There are fears of gossip, judgment, or social isolation that make some students afraid to fully express themselves. But one student from the commerce department comments, "The best thing I've noticed so far that the students who may not fully support queer liberations have rarely attempted to hate or bully queer students. Similarly, queer students and their allies have rarely tried to force ideological changes on those who are not supportive. I find it truly beautiful how many people of different beliefs can coexist without putting each other down." GCW has its own air of calmness, where people are naturally easygoing and kind. This reflected clearly in the behavior of teachers and staff, in their attitude towards queer inclusivity. Many professors are curious and open to learning about queerness. I'm not even sure whether people are fully comfortable in their college. Some people are supportive, and a few are openly queer, but it will still take time for more queer students to feel safe. Still, I'm really happy that some of the teaching faculty openly support queer students, and that's indeed a good thing, and their student adds. That being said, among students, there's sometimes a misconception that invalidates female queer experiences. Some believe that romantic or sensual experiences in an all-girls college are simply a replacement for real or heterosexual relationships, calling it a phase. Such opinions show how many still struggle to see real queerness as real and lasting. Non-binary and gender non-conforming students face unique challenges, from being misgendered by faculty or facing scrutiny for presenting appearances that disrupt binary expectations of an all-girls space. Despite the indirect harm caused by these attitudes, many queer people, allies, and alumni have worked to create a safe space and build queer representation in GCW. The existence of gender justice forum, and queer club inside the campus are examples of this. The Queer Collective GCW is a community of queer individuals and allies that offer workshops, seminars, awareness programs, pride marches, and more activities for visibility. This is deeply validating for individuals who struggle with connection and identity. A queer student shares, "There's a liberation in looking across a room full of people and realizing there are people like me here, happy and thriving in their own skin. It makes you realize that you are not alone." Queerness in GCW is complex and beautiful. It is like a Miyawaki forest, full of identities, entangled and existing together, offering each other shade and safe spaces. Even just understanding, proud, and smiling at someone who understands you is, in itself, a kind of a protest. Like womanhood, strong, unyielding, and determined to claim a well-aimed space. Queerness in GCW is similar. It is a journey to foster a culture where queer students are not just tolerated, but seen, heard, and celebrated.